Alright guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in for another week's fat loss update. You can already tell by the tune that I'm very excited to record this video because I've got a great deal of interesting information to share with you guys in relation to what's happened in week 22. Normally, you guys will be thinking that as I go deeper and deeper into my fat loss journey, the content or the experience I can share with the guys is going to be more and more boring. But I can tell you guys that what's transpired in week 22 definitely has blown my mind because a pure incident has taken place in this week. And because of this pure incident, by pure luck, I've managed to drop my body fat percentage finally to around about 6 to 7%, which is probably the lowest body fat percentage a normal guy can achieve barring going on bodybuilding stage. So stay tuned for this video because there's a lot of interesting information I can share with you in this video. But as usual, before I reveal this week's fat loss progress, would greatly appreciate if you guys can just give me a thumbs up and also maybe just consider subscribing to my channel. It will mean a great deal to me as a small YouTube fitness creator. Thank you very much for your support. Alright, now I'm done with self-promotion. Without further ado, let me first put out a table there for you guys to reference in relation to what's happened in this week. And I will start my daily feeling talking by defining the pure incident that I was talking about in the introduction of this video. So what's this pure incident? Well, this pure incident I'm talking about is the tooth pain. The tooth pain may sound like a small incident in your guys' eyes, but trust me, it does have a huge impact on what has happened in this week. But anyway, let's reverse back as usual to last Saturday. Talking about last Saturday's morning weigh-in, it was 74.6 kilos. And what I've done on last Saturday was 2 sessions of hard cardio training. And when I mentioned hard cardio training, the reference point I'm going to use was the cardio performance, meaning how many calories I've managed to burn within 1 hour. And for both of these sessions, I managed to burn roughly about 1,000 calories. I think, let me just think about one session, which I took a screenshot. It was 993 calories, and I was not doing an all-out 1 hour session. So definitely the claim that I can still burn 1,000 calories in 1 hour is still solid statement at this stage. And the 2 sessions, both of these sessions, I pretty much roughly about 1,000 calories in 1 hour. And just remind what I've just said, it is still not an all-out 1 hour session. So definitely I can push myself a bit harder and burn more than 1,000 calories in 1 hour. And something else I want to mention just for Saturday daily feeding was that I made a small change, well actually not a small change, I made a change to my training schedule in the last 3 to 4 weeks. If you guys just refer to the table that I put out there, you're going to see that I wasn't doing weight training every night. However, that's probably a lie because when I put a tick in the grid, that means that I've done a roughly 2-hour weight training session, and for the cross, all the crosses I've done in the grids, that means instead of doing a 2-hour lengthy training session, I've done 1 hour or slightly longer than 1 hour, relatively short training session prior to doing my night cardio. So actually, in terms of real weight training, I was actually training myself in the gym every night. The only difference was whether I was doing with a very long 2-hour weight training session or relatively short 1 hour training session. So it's definitely high frequency weight training session that I've employed in the last 3 to 4 weeks. And as to the impact this kind of high frequency weight training on my body, I'm going to talk about that actually on Monday. So just bear with me. Let's talk about what's happened on last Sunday. So last Sunday, another morning weigh-in, and this time it was 0.2 kilos weight drop. So maybe it was worth for me to go for the extra squeeze of fat loss, because if you guys have been following my fat loss journey, you will know that I'm pretty much convinced that by the end of week 21 that my body just doesn't have any more ability to drop more body fat. But because of this Sunday morning 0.2 kilo weight drop, it's probably still worth just to squeeze a bit harder for this extra fat loss. But anyway, I did one session of a cardio training in the morning, and okay, another session of long weight training, 2-hour weight training session in the gym at night, and definitely I can feel that some muscle groups, they were feeling the fatigue of this high frequency training that I was just talking about, and in particular the long head of my triceps, because something I want to share with you guys is that part of the reason why I was doing this daily weight training was because I wanted to train my abs every day, and actually that's sort of like a trigger point for me to start this kind of a high frequency training, because I do know that your abs can sort of withstand very high frequency training, and definitely my abs can be trained pretty much every day. But the ab exercises I was choosing for myself was standing ab wheel rolling, which, yes, they do train your abs very hard, very well, but they also train the long head of the triceps simultaneously very hard. And I'd also, from time to time, I would throw in machine pull over, which also trains the long head of the triceps very well. And throw on top of that some cable push downs. The workload volume for the long head of my tricep is definitely very high and very frequent. And that's why my long head of the triceps, they were definitely feeling fatigue pretty much every day. Not to the point that I couldn't train the long head, but it's just the fatigue was definitely lingering in the long head of my triceps. So that's what I want to talk about on Sunday. And now, this is the first reference in relation to this pure incident. So Sunday night, when I was trying to fall asleep, the tooth pain began to manifest at night. And because of that, I had a rather bad night's sleep, because the tooth pain was, although it was sporadic, periodic, when it does strike on you, very sharp pain. So yes, it may like a small incident in your guy's eyes, but it definitely has a huge impact starting from last Sunday. So now let's talk about what happened on Monday. This Monday I took the whole day off, so there's no cardio training and there's no weight training. And actually, I saw my massage specialist again, just for the routine maintenance of the body. If you guys refer back to one of my most popular videos, you would know that having a highly skilled remedial massage specialist at your hand is going to be very helpful to you guys if you want to put extra muscle mass on your frame. The benefit a remedial massage specialist is going to confer on you is really beyond measure. But anyway, I was asking his judgment in relation to like how he feels about my body on this Monday, and according to his judgment, my body is fine with this kind of a high frequency and just say medium intensity but high volume training. So once again, this is another example to showcase the body's resilience. So you can torture your body a lot with high volume training, high frequency training, probably not high intensity training. So you probably can push out two elements out of 3 elements of a training components, and still be fine with that. But anyway, just another example to show that the body is really resilient. But okay, this is a second time to reference this pure incident. My tooth pain, it definitely worsens on this Monday. But funny enough, my sleep on Monday, it was actually all right. So the tooth pain, it was more unbearable during daytime, but at night when I was trying to fall asleep, it actually sort of recessed. Well, it just fell off a little bit. It wasn't as strong as I was feeling on Monday morning. So that's what happened on Monday. And now let's talk about what's happened this Tuesday. So Tuesday morning, if you guys look at the table, my weight has bounced back over 75 kilos, 75.2 kilos. So because of this weight rebound, I did 2 sessions of cardio to see if the weight will really just remain at around about 75 kilos. And okay, the third time to reference this pure incident, the tooth pain, it worsened again on Tuesday daytime. But once again, my sleep was still all right on Tuesday, which probably couldn't be said for what's going to happen on Wednesday. And okay, now let's fast forward to this Wednesday. Wednesday morning, another morning weigh-in, and this time it was 75.1 kilos. So the weight barely moved, although I've just done 2 sessions of cardio on Tuesday. Although to be fair, the 2 sessions of cardio I've done on Tuesday was not hard mode. By that I mean that I wasn't burning 1,000 calories in 1 hour for those 2 sessions of cardio training. But having said that, even if I went hard mode on these 2 sessions, I doubt my weight would change that much. So the body really prefers to stay at 75 kilos without any incident. So that's probably an interesting point I want to make here. I'm fairly convinced that for my body, if there's no incident, my body would prefer to stay around about 74 to 75 kilos, even when I try my best to drive down my body fat percentage. That's a conclusion I've reached for my own body. However, the irony part of what's happening this week is that, yes, this pure incident has taken place. So Wednesday, my tooth pain worsened again, and eventually I had to see one dentist. And after the appointment with the dentist, I was prescribed with some antibiotics. And yes, this was let's just say, okay, the tooth pain was the prelude to this incident, and now this is the main act of this incident. After I was prescribed with these antibiotics, what's happened in the next few days? Well, it completely blown my mind, and that's what we're going to talk about in the second part of what's happened in this week. Now, the second part of this week, after I've been prescribed with some antibiotics, this is the antibiotics I've been prescribed with, and I think the name is called amoxicillin. All right, I've been prescribed with these antibiotics on this Wednesday, and I actually made a big mistake on this Wednesday. According to the instruction, I should only take 1 capsule 3 times in a day with food. But for some reason, my mind was definitely not thinking straight on Wednesday night. Instead of taking 1 capsule 3 times every day, I took 3 capsules with food on Wednesday night with dinner. And let me tell you what, that's a colossal mistake I've made, because Thursday morning when I woke up, straight away I can feel that I was feeling so sick. And I actually weighed on myself on the scale on Thursday morning, and it was 74.3 kilos. And this was even before emptying myself in the toilet. So it could very well be below 74 kilos once I've emptied myself. But more to the point, I was definitely feeling very sick and weak during the Thursday. And definitely my digestive system took a huge hit. Particularly, I can say for sure that the gut microbiome was definitely destroyed by these 3 capsules of antibiotics that I took by mistake on Wednesday night. And to be honest, I was feeling so sick and weak during the whole day. It's probably like the worst state I had for a very long time, since I was being like very ill from my international flight that took place in, let me think about a timeline, probably in September 2023. So this is like, I'm feeling myself like the worst for more than 2 years on this Thursday. So it just shows you that how important your bacteria means to your overall immune system. Because of this 3 capsules, or actually more than 3 capsules antibiotics, I'm pretty sure that my gut bacteria, the gut microbiome, they were just entirely nuked by the antibiotics. And because of that, my immune system was severely impacted as well. And that's why I was feeling so sick and tired on this Thursday, and why my weight dropped so much from over 75 kilos to below 74 kilos overnight. And actually the influence did not stop there, because Friday morning when we woke up again, this time my weight, after visiting the toilet, it was 73.2 kilos. So there's another 1.1 kilo weight drop. So over the course of 2 days, my weight dropped from, let me just have a look, from 75.1 kilos to 73.2 kilos. So almost 2 kilo weight loss. That's how destructive antibiotics can be to your body. But part of the reason, another reason why my weight dropped so much was because of this. This was the tooth pain. So obviously, I couldn't chew anything that is hard, and that already prevents me from eating loads of meat and other chewy stuff. So pretty much because of this tooth pain, I was forced to eat only Greek yogurt and fruits, and only drink milk to avoiding chewing any meat. And to be honest with you guys, all the foods I've just mentioned, Greek yogurt and fruits and low-fat milk, they're all extremely low in calories. So by pure incident of this tooth pain, I forced myself to change the diet, which is probably now in hindsight the trump card for rapid weight loss. And this kind of a Greek yogurt plus fruit diet I've already experienced with this kind of rapid weight loss back in, I think in last year when cyclone hit Gold Coast. So yes, if you only eat Greek yogurt and fruits, in a few days' time, you're going to drop a lot of water weight and probably quite some body fat, because truth to be told, they're all very low in energy density, and actually they don't contain so much salt. So not only you're creating a huge caloric deficit for yourself, but also because they don't contain so much salt, you're going to lose a bunch of water weight on top of body fat. So that's probably in my eyes, one of the most effective rapid weight loss strategies you can employ yourself. And anyway, talking about what's happened this Friday in terms of training, I did 2 sessions of cardio, because, well, now I wasn't feeling so sick as I was feeling on this Thursday, and since there was a huge rapid weight loss already, I might just as well just ride on the tide to see how much I can further drop my weight. Which now let's talk about this Saturday's morning weigh-in. Okay, Saturday's morning weigh-in, 72.7 kilos. So think about how much I've lost in this week, from 74.6 kilos from last Saturday to this Saturday, 72.7 kilos, almost 2 kilo weight loss. That's definitely something that I was not expecting at all if you were talking to me on last Saturday. But anyway, this kind of huge weight loss, it did happen by the end of this week. But more to the point, without a doubt, this is the leanest state that I've ever been myself. And I can say for confidence that when my weight was 72.7 kilos this Saturday, my body fat, it was around about 6 to 7% body fat, because I'm going to show you guys some photos there. All the muscles, they were separated, and if I'm flexing hard enough, you can even say they're striated, and I got deep arched abs and also very clear obliques from the side. So all these are indications to say that, okay, this is definitely the leanest state I've ever been myself. But this kind of 6 to 7%, I can only achieve it by pure incidence. Without this antibiotics I've been prescribed with, my body would fight tooth and nail to stay much higher than its body fat percentage. If you guys just refer back to my last few weeks fat loss updates, you will know that my body weight just hovered around about 74 to 75 kilo range for a very, very long time. So without taking these antibiotics, my body would not let this final 1.3 to 1.5 kilo weight drop happen. It just won't allow it. And that's why I say this is the pure incident. By this pure incident, I've managed to drive down my body fat to this 6 to 7%. But I can definitely say that this is not a sustainable level. Yeah, I may look very cool on those photos, and I think I got more photos to share with you guys in future if I make a video talking about how lean you can get and all that. But trust me, I don't recommend you guys dipping your body fat down to this percentage, because this is probably not healthy, and there are a lot of probably other things that you don't want to know if you want to drop your body fat percentage to this low. But anyway, that's what I want to talk about, what's happened in week 22 for the second part. And just as a piece of proof to show you guys that the body is definitely not happy with this 6 to 7% body fat percentage, I'm going to reveal this morning, this Sunday morning's weighing result. It was 73.6 kilos. So overnight, there has been a 0.9 kilo weight rebound. See what I mean? Without this pill incident, without this tooth pain plus antibiotics incident, my body would fight tooth and nail to keep my body weight around about 74 to 75 kilos, because it was only because of this pill incident that the body was forced to drop the body fat percentage to this 6 to 7%. And once it sees any opportunity, when your body fat is at 6 to 7%, it would seize any opportunity to put on more body fat. That's what happened on this Saturday night, because this Saturday night I was eating some bread, still healthy bread. I was drinking full cream milk, still healthy full cream milk, but because the energy density, full cream milk and bread, it was higher than fruits and yogurts. Now the body seizes the opportunity and put on more body fat. Second reason, my digestive system is healing. I've been prescribed with these antibiotics for 3 to 4 days. So yes, the first few days took a huge hit, but in the course of the next few days, it was beginning to rebuild and heal itself. Now it can absorb more nutrients. Second opportunity for the body to grab and just put on more body fat. So you see, that's really just evidence to show you that 6 to 7% body fat is really not something sustainable for most of you guys. I would say 95 to 99% of you guys out there. You may drop there by pure luck, or if you really try to push yourself really hard for a very short period of time, you may get it there. But trust me, it's definitely not something sustainable to maintain over long term. And I'm actually going to, let's put it flag here. This is definitely going to be the last week for me to make this kind of weekly based fat loss update to you guys, because I'm fairly sure, I'm 100% sure that in next week, my body weight is going to rebound. 73.6 kilos is just a start. We're definitely going to rebound even further in the course of next few days. And for the next week, I'm not going to make any prediction about fat loss. Well, there's not going to be any fat loss that's going to occur in the next week. It's only going to be weight rebound. But the interesting thing for me to see in the next week is going to be how much further the weight is going to rebound. Or in other words, can I really keep my body weight around about this 74 to 75 kilos? I'm fairly sure that I can, but just in terms of this fat loss journey, definitely this is the end of my fat loss journey. So over the course of 22 weeks, I've managed to drop my body fat from the beginning 90 kilos, or to be more precisely 89.9 kilos, to the end this Saturday 72.7 kilos. And just for the sake of regards reference, I'm going to put 2 photos there. So on this side, it's going to be a photo of when I was 89.9 kilos 22 weeks ago, and this side is going to be the photo that was taken on this Saturday, 72.7 kilos. As you guys can see, obviously huge visual difference, and there's a lot of things I can definitely share with you guys. So instead of providing one more fat loss update in week 23, this is going to be the end of this whole fat loss series. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. And also, I'm going to produce this one final video as a final wrap up of talking about all the lessons and experience I've learned in the course of this 22 weeks. So it's going to be a rather lengthy video just talking about all the things I've learned along this 22-week fat loss journey. So it's going to be released onto my channel in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that. All right, that's all I want to say about what's happened in week 22. Definitely the most interesting week I've experienced over the course of 22 weeks. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video as well. Maybe a bit more lengthy compared to the last few weeks, but I've got so many interesting things to share with you. So I hope that you guys don't mind that I'm just being a bit more talkative in this video. All right, that's all I want to say in this video. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and also just consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much for your support, and I will see you guys in another week's time.